Okay, let's take a look at the Sunday game. You got the Seattle Seahawks, another road favorite here at Minnesota. There was an early number, very early number on Seattle, -7, and it came down quickly to 5.5. That was at a major book. And now we're looking at 5.5, and the total has dropped from 42.5 to 40. The Seattle Seahawks, two-time NFC champions in a row, and here they are going for a third straight, getting hot at the right time. 6-1 run, both straight up and against the spread. And only defeat was that strange game at home against the Rams. Well, when you look at the Seattle offense, what a weapon Russell Wilson has turned into. We got a lot of heat in the offseason, got the big contract, injuries to the offensive line, injuries to his ground game. All he does is throw 34 touchdowns with 8 interceptions. He's still a threat running the football, over 500 yards rushing, and he has been tremendous this season, leading the charge. And then the defense. Boy, did they get hot down the stretch. Finished number 2 in the NFL in yards, number 1 against the rush, and number 1 in points. It seems like the same old Seattle defense that we've seen these last 4 years, absolutely dominant. So Harvard, Seattle's hot. They probably should be a road favorite here. And the only question, though, is they are not at home like they have been in the last 2 Januaries.
Well, they better get hot. They're playing this game outdoors in Minnesota in January. You know, I don't even know if I have an opinion on this game because I'll tell you, I can't understand the line. 4 weeks ago, the line was Seattle -1 when they won in their last meeting 38-7. -1. Now all of a sudden it opened at 7 and it went down to 5.5. I don't blame these guys for grabbing the +7. Also, Rawls, he had 100-yard rushing the last meeting. He's nowhere around. Seattle's strength is against the pass, more so than against the run. The Vikes obviously and clearly are going to run. Look last week when they played Green Bay. Teddy Bridgewater, he only threw for 99 yards in the entire game, and they won 20-13. So they know how to win the game with the run. They know how to win the game without depending on Teddy. And I do like the fact that Seattle is a great team this time of year. I like the rah-rah of Pete Carroll. I like the fact that these guys have a great history in the playoffs, and it's like they change gears. I like the fact that Russell Wilson, he's absolutely brilliant, and the defense is brilliant, but I don't like the fact that I'm going to lay 5.5 when just 4 weeks ago I could have laid 1. So with that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do at this point.
Yeah, and you got the division champs here as a home underdog. Yeah, you mentioned that one number to keep in mind here is 7, and it's not tied into the betting line. Do you know what number that is?
The weather, right?
What is it, the temperature something supposed to be?
Exactly right. There's Minnesota. It's a day game, and yet the high in Minneapolis is going to be 7.
Yeah, I heard it could be around 1 or 2 degrees or something. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a
We're
chilly one.
complaining here in Vegas.
I know it's been cold here, but not quite like that. Yeah, you get the NFC North champs who are 13-3 against the spread on the season, yet here they are getting no respect. A home underdog of 5.5. They've been covering games for a while. 22-7 spread run, 10-3 ATS at home. Do have a one-dimensional offense. They're 31st in the NFL in passing, so it's pretty clear if you can shut down the run, you can force them to do things that they don't normally do, and the Seattle defense can force anybody out of their game, so that's a concern. Minnesota defense, though, has been pretty good all year. Number 13th in yards, number 5 in points under Mike Zimmer. Only his second year here, and he's already won a division title. So, Zach, when you look at the Vikings here, are they too young, or is this their time?
Well, this one won't be posted as a premium play, but I'll go ahead and give out a pick just for the video purposes. But I think it's a no-brainer to keep going with the Seattle Seahawks. This matchup is just perfect for them. I think it sort of reminds me of last year, or all the times that the Patriots and Colts have faced each other, and the Patriots, every time they play the Colts, people want to say this might be Andrew Luck's time. This is the time to take the points. I think even one of the games last year they were favored by 3 points against the Patriots at home, and then in the playoffs it was a 7-point line for the Patriots or whatnot, and they killed them. I think that's going to happen here with the Seattle Seahawks. As you mentioned, the 31st offense in the Minnesota Vikings. That's all they're going to do. They're going to shut down Adrian Peterson, and once you do that, Teddy Bridgewater starts to look like a backup quarterback, and you saw that left-handed throw he did last week. That was an interception, and once you get him to have to make plays and decisions, it just snowballs. He needs that support. There's probably half the quarterbacks in the league that need that, and he's one of them. And I think Seattle's going to take advantage of that. They face these quarterbacks like Carson Palmer. If they can do it to Carson Palmer last week, what's Teddy Bridgewater going to do? I mean, they just annihilated the Arizona Cardinals on the road. The Cardinals have only lost 4 times at home in the last 3 years. So you have to take Seattle. I don't think there's any value on the Vikings, and Teddy Bridgewater needs to improve in the offseason if the Vikings are ever going to advance past this round.
Wow, you sound like you're looking at a 23-0 shellacking again.
I think it's going to be a repeat of what happened last time. They scored 38 points last time, yet probably not as many points this time. They're going to need to focus on the divisional round. So I expect them to kind of tone down the offense from when they were running in gear this past month. But defensively, they're going to win this game, and Teddy Bridgewater's not even going to throw for over 180 yards. All
right, well, I'll add to those dismal offensive numbers because we've all talked about Seattle's defense, dominant across the board. They're going to have a great game. They're facing a Minnesota team that's 11-4-1 under the total. You got cold, miserable conditions. Both teams are capable and actually look to run the football first. Minnesota, when they face the NFC, 10-4 under the total. When they face a winning team, 9-4-1 under the total. So I'm looking at maybe a 16-10 or a 20-6 kind of game. But this total is very high for these frigid conditions and a couple of dominant defenses. One of them the best in the league. Minnesota, Seattle Sunday under the total. All right, let's tell you how you can get involved with some of the Vegas experts. Harvard, your 10-star high roller plays. Perfect 2-0 this past weekend with the Raiders and the Chargers. Hey, you took up a couple of ugly underdogs there, but they got the money now, 25-11 for the season.
Yeah, you know what? First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year going forward. Basketball, one of the easier sports to play, and then next thing you know, we'll be having the Super Bowl, then the draft, and then preseason, and next thing you know, we'll be back at it again with more 10-star plays. Last week, I can't believe a record number of people that came and clicked on and purchased the 2-team parlay of the year. I didn't know there was that many people that loved 2-team parlays. It was one of the best weeks I've had. I'm glad to go 2-0 last week and run that record up to 25-11. This week I have 2 other teams. We didn't talk about the other 2 teams. Kansas City is 3.5 playing at Houston, and Green Bay is flying over to Washington, where we see Washington -1. I'm going to have my wild card game of the year, and the other play will be a 10-star play. So there's 2 more winners right there. Just click on and get those. And again, best of luck to everybody, and I'd like to, say thanks for my colleagues right here for what a wonderful fall season that we had, and hopefully everybody put a lot of money in everybody's pocket out there in America. So, again, JimFeist.com, he provided all this, and I want to thank him too.
Well, it certainly has been a great year, and we're looking forward to 2016. Zach, I know you don't want the NFL season to end. 43-22-1 record, plus your NBA heating up 47-25. What do you have available for this weekend?
Yeah, you know what? One of the wild card plays I just mentioned, I'm probably going to keep it at 2. I think last year I only did the 3 to 4 playoff plays and called it a day. So I have my eyes on 2 plays. Those will be loaded up. NBA hoops, I feel like I'm in that dialed in on that right now. I think I'm on a double-digit run here. And then college basketball kind of took 2 steps back the past couple of weeks to analyze. Well, they had that break, end of semester break anyways, but conference play started, so that'll be back in gear as well. College football just ended, finished 50-31. Oregon, I had that at +1, and of course, when Vernon Adams got booted out, I had that ugly feeling in my stomach. Wish I would have went online and moneylined that, but I didn't, and that concludes the season in college football. But I'm happy about the achievements. Glad to do these videos with you guys, and I'm looking forward to finishing off a strong NFL season and rolling that into hoops.
All right, and Jim Feist, he's off Sundays. NFL total of the year. That was the Packers-Vikings game under the total, getting there with ease. For this weekend, available online now at jimfeist.com. Saturday's got an NFL playoff steamroller. Sunday is an NFL Inner Circle playoff total if you like to play totals as you did last week. Plus Monday, the Clemson-Alabama winner. Jim has that available. You can find those plays from all the guys and more at jimfeist.com. All right, that'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week with the NFL version of Proline. Good luck with the games, everyone.